In the world buzzing with loud noises and flashing screens, let's journey somewhere different. Let's rediscover the magic of traditional storytelling through the simple joy of reading stories aloud. Welcome to the WorldStoryMind, where stories come alive in your mind. Hello, my dear friends. So tonight I'm taking you all the way to India, a time long, long, long ago when humans existed with gods and demons on earth. It's a story that is very deeply rooted in the culture of India. It's called Ramayana. It's a big part of Indian culture. The story is told in temples, in plays, and even during Diwali, which has a huge significance to the story. Diwali is kind of like the Christmas of India. It's called the Festival of Lights, and we'll get into why it's called the Festival of Lights in just a minute. So the story that we're going to talk about, Ramayana, teaches us about kindness, bravery, and always doing what is right. Now, I was born in India, so I call India my birth mother. I came to the US at a very young age, so I call the US my adoptive mom, which is why both these countries hold such a special place in my heart. And I'm so excited to talk about the country that brought me into this world, India. Sitting in the heart of Asia, India is an ancient country full of colors, stories, and incredible traditions. It has been around for thousands and thousands of years. Once known as the Golden Sparrow, India was the richest country in the world. Its lands were filled with treasures, shimmering gold, sparkling jewels, and bustling markets full of silk, spices, and special gems. Traders from faraway lands sailed across oceans just to buy India's famous spices, fabrics, and perfumes. So India is huge. More than 1.4 billion people live here, speaking over 1,600 different languages. Imagine how many different ways people can say hello over there. It's a birthplace of big religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. It's also very famous for its festivals. People dance during Navratri, throw colors during Holi, and light up the night with lamps during Diwali. India is like a big colorful puzzle with each state being a special piece. Every state has its own language, yummy food, cool traditions, and fun festivals. People speak many different languages, but Hindi and English are the two big bridges that help everyone understand each other. So India is home to some of the world's most stunning buildings, like the breathtaking Taj Mahal, the Golden Temple, and ancient temples that tell stories through their beautiful carvings. There are also sacred rivers like the Ganga and the Yamuna, where people pray and celebrate. Even numbers owe a big thanks to India. Did you know that the number 0 was actually invented in India? That's right. Without the 0, we wouldn't have math as we know it today. Okay, now let's talk about my favorite, food. If you love delicious flavors, India is the place to be. From crunchy samosas to spicy biryani, soft dosas, and creamy butter chicken, Indian food is the feast for the senses. So India is also the land of music, dance, and storytelling. Bollywood, or the Indian film industry, is the second largest film industry in the world. India creates colorful, action-packed films full of songs and dances that people love to watch all over the world. But that's not all. India is home to mighty Himalayas, the vast Thar Desert, and the beautiful forests where elephants, Bengal tigers, and rare birds roam, not to mention the king cobras and the snake charmers. So my dear friends, now that you know a little bit about India, let's get into the story. A long, long time ago, in a magical time when gods lived on earth with humans, there was a kind and noble prince named Rama. He was not just any prince. He was loved by all because he was wise, strong, and always did the right thing. His kingdom Ayodhya was a beautiful place where people were happy, kind, and followed good values. Back then, people wore simple yet lovely clothes. Men wrapped cloth called dhotis around their waist, and women wore colorful saris with pretty designs. They ate fresh and healthy foods, lots of grains, fruit, milk, and honey. People prayed to gods, celebrated festivals, and lived happily with their big families. But the most exciting part of this time was the Ramayana, the epic story of Lord Rama and his incredible adventures. Prince Ram had 3 loving brothers, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughan, and they were always together. One day, a wise man named Vishwamitra came to their palace and asked for Ram to help him fight some naughty demons who were disturbing his meditations. Brave Ram and his brother Lakshman went with him to this heroic journey. During this adventure, Ram met a beautiful princess named Sita. To win her hand in marriage, he had to lift and break a giant magical bow that belonged to Lord Shiva. Can you guess what happened? Crack! Rama broke the bow with ease and everyone cheered. It was a bow that was not even liftable by regular humans. So Sita and Ram got married and celebrated their marriage. Just when everything was perfect, a promise made by his father, King Dashrath, changed Ram's life. Ram had to leave the palace and live in the forest for 14 years in exile. But guess what? Sita and Lakshman didn't let him go alone. They joined him on this adventure, leaving behind their royal life to live in the jungle. In the forest, they built a cozy hut and lived happily, surrounded by nature and animals. But danger was waiting. One day, a wicked demoness named Shubhnaka saw Ram and wanted to marry him. But Ram refused as he loved Sita dearly. Angry and embarrassed, Shubhnaka ran to her very powerful brother, Ravan, the 10-headed king of Lanka. Shubhnaka told Ravan about Sita's unmatched beauty, and the greedy Ravan decided to steal her. He came up with a very mean plan, a very tricky plan. He sent a magical deer, a magical golden deer, to lure Ram away. Sita, amazed by the deer, asked Ram to catch it for her. As Ram chased the deer, it suddenly cried out in his voice, "Help, Lakshman!" Sita got scared and sent Lakshman to find him. But before leaving, Lakshman drew a magical line, the Lakshman Rekha, around their home, telling Sita to never step outside it. But oh no, Ravan, disguised as a poor old wise man, tricked Sita into crossing the line. The moment she did, whoosh! Ravan grabbed Sita and flew away in his golden chariot to his kingdom, Lanka. This was witnessed by Jatayu, the noble vulture, who tried to save Sita from being taken and couldn't stand against the powerful Ravan and ended up getting injured in the process. When Ram and Lakshman returned to their hut in the forest, they were shocked. Sita was missing. Frantically, they searched everywhere, calling out her name, but she was nowhere to be found. As Ram's heart pounded with fear, they discovered signs of struggle: broken branches, disturbed earth, and scattered jewelry. It was then that Jatayu appeared from the jungle, the noble vulture that was wounded and grasping for breath. He revealed the terrible truth. Ravan had abducted Sita and taken her away in his flying chariot. With sorrow and fury burning in their hearts, Ram and Lakshman vowed to rescue her at any cost. After learning about Sita's abduction from vulture Jatayu, Ram and Lakshman continued their search. Along the way, they encountered the fierce demon Kabandh, whom they defeated. Humbled by Lord Ram, Kabandh bowed to his presence. Kabandh advised them to seek help from Sugriv, the exiled monkey king of Kishkinda. Following this advice, Ram and Lakshman arrived at Mount Rishyamukha, where Sugriv and his companions, including Hanuman, were hiding. Sugriv and Ram formed a friendship based on mutual help. Ram promised to help Sugriv regain his kingdom from his estranged brother Vali, and in return, Sugriv vowed to help Ram find Sita. Now, this alliance was crucial to the events that followed, leading to Vali's defeat and Sugriv becoming the king of Kishkinda. Eventually, Sugriva's army of monkey warriors, led by Hanuman, played a major role in locating Sita and battling Ravan. Ram, Lakshman, Sugriva, and Hanuman became really great friends and vowed to bring back Sita. They gathered a mighty army of warrior monkeys and bears and all their allies, who were brave, strong, and ready for a battle. Together, they prepared to march towards Lanka, where the wicked Ravan had taken Sita. Now, Hanuman wasn't just an ordinary being. He was a warrior and had magical powers. He could grow as tall as a mountain, and he could become as small as a squirrel whenever he wanted. With his super strength and his lightning speed powers, he was the perfect hero for this mission. Hanuman stood at the edge of the high cliff, looking at the vast ocean that stretched all the way to Lanka. How will I ever cross this? He thought. Then poof! He started growing. Bigger and bigger and even bigger till he was taller than a mountain. I am Hanuman, the son of wind. Nothing can stop me, he roared. Then with one mighty leap, whoosh! He flew through the sky like shooting star. Across the ocean he soared, his tail swishing behind him, the waves crashing below. After that, after what felt like forever, thump! Hanuman landed right in Lanka, shaking the ground beneath him. Hanuman sneaked through Lanka, past the sleeping demons, until he reached a beautiful garden called Ashok Vatika. And there, sitting under a tree, was Sita. But even though she was sad, her eyes were full of courage. Hanuman bowed and whispered, "Don't worry, Mother Sita, I bring a message from Lord Ram." Then he carefully gave her Ram's ring, the same ring Ram always wore. Sita gasped, her heart filled with hope. "Ram is coming for me?" she asked. "Yes, I promise," Hanuman said bravely. "Soon you will be free." But before leaving, Hanuman wanted to teach Ravan a lesson. I think it's time for some mischief, he chuckled. He let himself get caught on purpose, and Ravan, angry and annoyed, ordered, "Set this monkey's tail on fire." Bad idea, Ravan. Big mistake. As soon as they lit his tail, whoosh! Hanuman jumped up, swinging his burning tail everywhere. He hopped from rooftop to rooftop, setting Ravan's golden city, Lanka, ablaze. Boom! Crackle! Whoosh! With Lanka burning behind him, Hanuman leaped back across the ocean, landed safely, grinning from ear to ear. Mission complete. Now, let's get ready for the battle, he declared. And so, the great war between Ram and Ravan was about to begin. After crossing the mighty ocean on their magical bridge the army built, which is now known as Ram Setu Bridge, Ram and his incredible army finally reached Lanka, ready for the biggest battle ever. Get ready, warriors. Today, we fight for Sita, Ram declared, his eyes filled with determination. On the other side, inside his golden palace, the 10-headed demon king, Ravan, roared with laughter. "Ha! No one can ever defeat me. I am the mighty ruler of Lanka." But deep down, he knew Ram was no ordinary warrior. The battlefield trembled as the two armies clashed. Boom, bang, smash, arrows whizzed through the sky, warriors roared, and the ground shook with thunderous footsteps of giant demons and the brave monkey warriors. Leading the charge was Hanuman, the mighty monkey warrior, who leaped high into the air, grabbing demons with his super strong tail, flinging them around into the sky like shooting stars. On the other side, Ravan's powerful son, Indrajit, was up to no good. Using his magical skills, he became invisible and launched a fierce attack against Ram and Lakshman. He shot an enchanted serpent arrow that wrapped around Ram and Lakshman, making them fall unconscious. But wait, one of Ram's allies, the mighty Garud, the divine eagle, swooped down, and with single flap of his wings, the serpents fled in fear. Swoosh! Freed from the spell, Ram and Lakshman jumped right back into the battle, stronger than ever. Then came Kumbhakarna, Ravan's giant brother. Thud, thud, thud. He was so huge that when he walked, the ground shook like an earthquake. But do you know what? He loved to sleep more than anything, even more than kids love bedtime stories. It took hundreds of drums, elephants, and thousands of soldiers to wake him up for the battle. Once awake, he roared, "Rah! Who dares disturb my sleep?" and charged towards Ram's army. But Ram, with his mighty bow, shot one powerful arrow, and Kumbhakarna fell with a giant thud, like a mountain crashing into the ground. It was that easy to bring down that giant. Now it was time for the final battle. Ram stood tall, his golden bow in his hand facing Ravan, the fearsome 10-headed king. The whole world watched in silence. Ravan with his 20 arms and 10 heads looked terrifying. "You can never defeat me, Ram," he bellowed, launching 1,000 fiery arrows at him. But Ram, quick as lightning, shot them all down one by one. The battle raged on, day and night, with both warriors fighting bravely. But there was a problem. Every time Ram struck Ravan, he would heal and stand up again. It seemed like Ravan really could never be defeated. But then, Vibhishan, Ravan's own brother, who had become Ram's ally, whispered in Ram's ear, "Ram, his weakness is in his navel. Aim there." Ram nodded. He lifted his mighty Brahmastra arrow, which was a divine weapon gifted to him by the gods. The air grew silent. Even the wind stopped blowing. All eyes were on Ram as he pulled back his bowstring. Swoosh! The magical arrow glowed like the sun and pierced through Ravan's belly, striking his weak spot, his navel. For a moment, everything was still. Then, boom! Ravan fell to the ground, defeated at last. His 10 heads vanished one by one, and the entire world erupted in joy. "Victory to Lord Ram! The evil king is defeated." The monkey warriors cheered, dancing and jumping with excitement. The day Ram defeated Ravan was the moment of great joy. To honor this great victory of good over evil, people began celebrating a festival called the Shera. Now, how is the Shera celebrated? On the Shera, people from all over the country, all over India, built huge, almost building-tall statues of Ravan, his giant brother Kumbhakarna, and his powerful son Indrajit. Then, as the sky turns golden, these massive statues are set on fire with flaming arrows, just like how Ram defeated Ravan with his magical arrow. The flames light up the night, symbolizing that evil will always be destroyed and goodness will always shine bright. And guess what? Just 20 days after the Shera, we celebrate Diwali, the festival of lights marking the return of Ram, Sita, and Lakshman back to their home, to Ayodhya. With Ravan gone, Ram and Sita were finally reunited. Their 14-year exile was over, and they returned to Ayodhya. The people were so happy, they lit up the entire kingdom with thousands of oil lamps to celebrate. That celebration became the festival of Diwali, the festival of lights. Even today, people light oil lamps to remember the victory of good over evil and light over darkness. The story of Ram teaches us to always be kind, brave, truthful, and loving. It shows us the power of loyalty, friendship, and doing what is right, no matter how hard the journey is. Most importantly, that good will always triumph over evil. And that, my dear children, is why Lord Ram's adventures are told and loved by millions even today. I hope you enjoyed the story tonight. With that, have a great night. I'll see you at the next story.